Okay, so welcome everyone.
Welcome.
This is our next live stream. Its title is, let me see, where has it gone? Who are you really?
Who are you?
Who am I? Self-inquiry. Who am I? Self-inquiry. I'm gonna come back. Okay. Everything is different now here on YouTube, so it's a little bit disturbing. Okay, so who are you really? And self-inquiry. You want to start? Yeah, already live. I was just going to turn off the subtitle, but you can start because it's running.
Turn it off.
I don't know how to turn it off.
No, leave it. So we have subtitles today. Sometimes they are not correct. Don't let yourself be disturbed by this.
No, it was quite good. Yes.
Yeah. Who am I is the most essential question, the most important question you can ask in spiritual terms or in your spiritual investigation. I mean, we have been given so many identifications through our lives, and first, of course, by our parents. We play this role as a child. They give us a name, tell us what gender we are. And then later on in school and so on. So, and actually all activities somehow are based or rooted in the search for self-definition. And of course we want to we look for good ones and somehow avoid not good ones. So I'm the one who can make it successful, whatever, intelligent. But it also can happen that we fall into the negative definition of this. So I'm a failure, victim, I will never make it. all these definitions start by the misidentification of a somebody. A somebody who is
successful or failure, somebody who is a mother, who is a daughter, somebody, whatever role that you have. And then you identify with that.
And the basic instinct of this misidentification is, because all these roles may be true. You are a mother, you are a daughter, you are successful or not. But these are all definitions who appear and disappear in your life. So basically they are not true. They can change. But the basic mistake of this misidentification is the identification as a somebody who is not connected. There's a separate identity.
There is even a somebody who is separate.
And this separation creates the force to search for more.
To search.
Because there's something missing.
The belief of separation fuels the search for connection.
And the missing part is actually this oneness, that there is no separate identity. So, and since we lost this sense of oneness, there is this, it starts this searching for something. And this searching for something motivates this looking for a certain identity.
Yes, and this goes on, and you can feel it after a while. Maybe you are 20, you're 30, 40, and you feel it that, oh, but something is missing. So I haven't really found who I really am in these identifications.
Or
so
at
something
least,
is missing.
Or at least these identifications are not satisfying. It's not enough. Yeah. It's not enough.
It's not enough. And why can you feel it? Because instinctively, you know, because you are that, you are truth, you instinctively know that there is a lie going on. And then you hear this question, really hear this question, who am I? You know, as Ramana also, the so-called self-inquiry is suggested to people. But when you really hear this question, who am I? And you really let it in deep, and you question this I, you really doubt this somebody. Then you fall into a great nothingness. Because when you really search for this I, there is nothing there. What is there is nothing. And paradoxically, that's peace. That's when you find home.
So this question, who am I, is basically connected to self-inquiry. And when we say, when we ask this question truly, it means we do not ask or answer it conceptually with all these roles given by somebody and learned by someone. So all this knowledge we gathered, which was brought from the parents' community to us, put this aside. You don't believe it. You don't trust it automatically. For once, you doubt everything you have heard. And you see for yourself without knowing. So that's investigation. Without knowing,
yeah.
there is no knowing, and you see for yourself what's here, what's really, what was here all the time. I mean, all these roles, they have a beginning and an ending. So that's not what's true. There is something deeper. I mean, you start doubting all these given roles and given identities, you fall deeper and you fall into this place of unknown, this peaceful silence. There is this realization of, yeah, and true realizations can come from this place, so to speak.
Yes. And self-inquiry has to be always fresh, like a new beginning. If you had never done it before, as Harald said, without knowing, it is an open-ended question. Who am I? Really? It's an open-ended question. And it might start out with that, who am I? Oh, I can see myself here, so am I this body? I can hear my thoughts, or I can see the images in my head about things. I can see the world. But these are all objects, since I am aware of them. So am I these objects? Am I this body? Am I this mind? Or am I that which is aware of it all? Because something is always aware, and that's who you are. So when you go to sleep and you wake up in the morning and you say, "Oh, I slept so well." How do you know you slept so well? Were you there? Who knows that you slept so well?
The one who appeared in the dream and played a certain role has no idea about this.
Oh, it's already forgotten. Even as you start the first movement in the morning in bed, then you forget the whole dream.
Usually.
Usually. You are not this dream. And you are not who you think you are. Whoever we think we are is a concept of the mind.
Because who you are cannot be thought. It cannot be defined by any words. That's why it is an open question and also an open answer. With no end, with no boundaries. The truth of who you are has no boundary.
Oh, something came to my mind that you could try as an exercise. That was for me crucial in my awakening. When we were with Eli Jackson Bear in Baden-Baden, and yeah, we had satsang, and then after the satsang, before the break, he gave us this task to try, that when we hear ourselves talking to ourselves, try to leave away the I and mine. So, for example, I am going to do this, or I am whatever. But my example was, I can remember I went out into on the terrace. I thought, oh, okay, I will try. And it wasn't even conscious. No, I didn't want to do this exercise. But I was so heavy, my heart was so heavy with some issues at home, with my family and everything. And so the sentence which I quote in my head was, I don't want to go back to my life. This was the sentence. And I heard this sentence so clearly. There was a separation between me and this sentence. So the identification stopped with it. And then immediately was like, who? Who doesn't want to go back to whose life? So the I and mine just dropped. And I could see that this is not serious. So there was this first, for me, this really first separation from this identification with the thoughts and with this I and mine. And interestingly, what happens then when you have an awakening? I mean, awakening is endless. And anyway, who is awake? So it's alive. Or who gets awakened? When you really awake, then you realize, like, who even got enlightened or got awakened? But the result of that was that, of course, I went back to my life. But it was much easier, everything, because I didn't take it personally. I could have a more broader view because of this realization. So I did what I could, and I helped who I could. So what I want to say with this, that also finding out who you are really and coming back home, that's what also Ramana said, is the biggest help you can give to anyone, whatever the result is. I mean, the result could have also been that I don't even go back home anymore because I am just, I love being who I am. But not necessarily. You go back to your family, you do what you can, you have your roles, but you it's different. You are not identified
yes,
with it.
The identification with the thoughts and the actions is loosened. Yeah.
It's such freedom.
The relation with this person, with this identification, with all the actions coming from the outside or motivated by the inside, are open. There is no relation with them anymore, actually. It's not mine. This is actually the hook of the relation. We say it's mine, or I don't want it to be mine. So this resistance, and this, there starts the relation with everything which appears in the outside. Starts when you're a child and you want this chocolate. Later on, you're a man and you want this woman, or this car, or this job. All these relations. And once you see through it, there is no.
You cannot believe it anymore, or you cannot take that for the truth.
They do lose their power of identification. So you do not need these relationships to identify yourself through them. And this is called freedom. Yeah. To make it simple, that's called freedom. They come, they go. Relationships are here and they're not here. But you are always there. Yes. You are always here. Undefinable. Without boundaries. Fresh and alive in every second.
It's alive. Everything is alive. Just now that you are sitting here, and you are breathing. I mean, do you know how many things have to function here to be able to breathe? The cells, the air, and how oxygen is here, how trees have their roles in that. Everything. It's a mystery. It's so beautiful. So stop searching for identification, or no, stop searching for defining anything. When you let all the names fall away, even your name, even that there is a computer here now, don't define anything. Ah. And you are here as presence. So for those who are on YouTube, I would like to let you know that you can come into these Zoom meetings. You can find a link to it in the description below. And in the Zoom meeting, you can ask questions in the chat if you don't want to talk. But we want to assure you that even if you talk, your video will not be broadcasted to YouTube, just your voice. And on Zoom, if you have any question, you can write it now. There's no question.
That means everything is clear.
Everything is clear. Good. And we'll see you next week, probably. If everything turns out well. and on Tuesdays usually. And you can also find in the description below. So thank you. Have a nice Sunday.
Thank you very much.
Best.
Mm. Mm.
Mm.